We are with Mr. David Martens, General Manager of Centara Grand Beach Resort and Village at Hua Hin. Mr. Martens, you are newly appointed as a GM of this historic hotel, so I would like to ask you what is your first impressions and what you think will be your first challenges and targets.
My first impression, thanks Theodore, my first impression is the hotel is a classic old colonial hotel. It's a stunning hotel, well known for its amazing service. It's in a centralized location right in the center of Hua Hin. And it's an iconic hotel in Hua Hin. So first impressions is I'm very privileged to work in such a hotel and to have the company transfer me from Krabi to here to look after what we call the lady or the gem of the company. My challenges or what I'm looking to do here since newly appointed is obviously look at the market overall in Hua Hin. The Hua Hin market is growing. There's lots of new inventory, lots of new hotels opening in Hua Hin. So I need to look at how we can maintain our competitiveness in the market, while at the same time trying to grow new markets. Because we are a colonial or a heritage hotel, we have a lot of regular guests, repeat guests that come many years. In actual fact, I had a guest I just welcomed this week that's been here 44 times. And over those 44 years has, stayed 1,600 room nights here at the hotel. So I've inherited a hotel where there's a lot of repeat clients. But obviously as they mature and as they age, we need to replace them with new clients. So the challenge for me is how do we attract new clients to the hotel while at the same time competing with all the new inventory that's opened up in Hua Hin. So this is my challenge and this is what I'm looking at, is to how can I do that? How can I attract new markets, new generations of people that want to come along and see and experience 100 years of history that's tied up in this hotel. So that's a challenge in this ever-changing and very quickly changing market in the hotel business. Obviously technology is important, service is still very important. We find that I think most people will stay at a 5-star hotel because of the service level, the service experience. And we're very fortunate here in Centara Grand to have an exceptional level of service. We pride ourselves in the level of service we offer. But saying that, at the same time you need to evolve, and you need to evolve to make sure that the service matches what the new clients are looking at. So I think that's part of the challenge as well, is making sure the newer generation are not just looking at technology, they're also looking at service, ambience, experience, things like that. Okay.
So, Mr. Martens, you are managing a very historical hotel. It's almost 100 years of operating as a hotel. I'm sure you have a very good stories with your loyal customers that they are visiting you for many years. So, what will be your, first of all, what is the profile of your current customers, and where do you think that you can position the hotel in the future regarding new markets, new segments, or even new younger, let's say, customers?
The current profile of our guests are predominantly individual travellers. There are some mice business, there's some golfing business, but in terms of our individual travellers, they're all quite senior, quite mature, been coming here for many years, as I mentioned earlier. They tend to be predominantly from Germany, Switzerland and Scandinavia. So they've been coming here traditionally for many years. In terms of where we see new markets emerging, we're probably looking more or still throughout Europe, looking at new markets coming out of Europe, whether they be Eastern Europe or whether they be more towards South Africa. Australia is a market that still can target to us, but of course we know from the Far East that there's markets still like China. And China, there are more and more FIT, Chinese travellers coming, who do appreciate 5-star and quality and service. So that's a market that we would look at But obviously we're quite sensitive because we need to make sure the demographics of our guests, all are amiable with each other. We also obviously look at other emerging markets, whether they be Indian or, like I said, maybe from South Africa. We have a potential to look at more MICE business. There's obviously a lot of golfers. There's many golf courses here in Hua Hin, so golfing opportunities are quite large. Right now we get a lot of support out of the Australian market for golfers, and we see more potential coming from the golf market in different areas. Hua Hin is now attracting a lot more different kinds of clientele because of the attractions we offer locally. As you know, apart from the golf courses we also opened up a water park here recently. There's several water parks in the area. There's quite a lot of new activities in terms of shopping centres. There's also beautiful vineyards here. I got to experience one of the local vineyards recently up in the hills. A nice 20-minute drive from here in the vineyard area. So in terms of attracting new markets, it's coming into those markets where we can attract things that do want to do golf, want to do some relaxation, also for families. I mean, we're an ideal destination for families where we have beautiful beaches, we've got the water park, we've got lots of activities that the children and families can participate in. MICE business is very good for Hua Hin because we're only a 2.5 hour drive from Bangkok. So that's quite attractive for the MICE market. Thai market, Thailand, traditionally Thailand travellers will come here for weekends, and you'll always see the occupancy increase over weekends because we have a lot of Thai domestic travel, and that's also very popular for Hua Hin. Popular because obviously of the summer palace of the Lake King, so that's still a market that's still growing for us.
So Mr. Martens, an important issue for many of your guests, especially the Scandinavians and the Germans that you already receive, is the issue of sustainability, how sustainable a hotel can be. So would you like to elaborate a little bit more about this?
Sure. Sustainability, I think, is an important aspect that all business owners need to look at these days. Here in Centara, and Centara as a corporate group, have initiated and signed up with a company called EarthCheck. And EarthCheck is a global company that actually analyse, advise how you can improve your efficiencies in terms of business and the environment to remain sustainability. It is something that's not just about being green, recycling. It's more actually about assessing how much fossil fuels you're using, how much electricity you're using, how much water you're using, and they actually track your data over a period of years to see that you make improvements in how to save water, to save energy costs, how to reduce fossil fuels, things like that. So it's something that we regard as fairly important as a company, and this year, this particular hotel, Centara Grand Hua Hin, has actually achieved gold accreditation with EarthCheck, which means for 5 years consecutively, we've constantly shown an improvement in our sustainability and how we manage our business. It's a great initiative, it's a great success story for the hotel because being obviously 96, 97 years old, almost 100 years old, we've been able to sustain it, but we as a company need to continue to sustain it. And this is why we see EarthCheck as being a great tool for us to actually continue to guide, to advise us how we can be more efficient. And obviously the next stage in a few years' time obviously is to get to a platinum status. But right now, after 5 years, we've achieved the gold accreditation, which is a great initiative and a great achievement.